Previously on the Advent Calendar House, we're going to kick off this season of Christmas and other assorted holidays in July with not one, but two festive Xmas episodes of Futurama. I am one of those lazy homeless bums I've been hearing about, Mike Westfall, and wow, is this cryogenic pod crowded today. Let's see who's here. First, he's the father of all lies and the uncle of all tricks. It's Donnie Storms. Hey, Donnie.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me. My apologies. We will have to make this quick. My dog is patiently waiting for me to pick her up outside of a non-chain pizza joint.
Yeah.
No.
Well, right out of the gate. Also, here is the sweet flower of the podcast. It's Michael DiGiovanni. Hello, Dijo.
Hey, Mike. I also will have to make this a little quick tonight because I'm going to be performing at the Andromeda Chuckle Hut after that.
Oh, can't wait. Next is the recently voted Orphan of the Year, but don't tell her parents that. It's Erin Evans. Hi, Erin.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
Oh, good. Better than I am. Somebody threw a bike at me.
Oh, no. And it's everyone's favorite blue-feathered giant chicken lawyer, Joey O. Hey, Joey.
Oh, good to see all of you, especially because I thought you all were corn.
Welcome back to the Advent Calendar House, the podcast that hopefully doesn't sound like a broken MP3. This is part 2 of our double episode about Futurama's first 2 Xmas specials, so if you haven't already, please go back and listen to our last episode on Xmas Story. But now let's move on to A Tale of Two Santas, which I think might be my favorite Futurama episode. It's up there.
Oh.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Definitely one I quote a lot. I've only a few years to live. I don't want to spend them dead. First aired December 23rd, 2001 on Festivus, which is appropriate because Fox had grievances about airing it at 7 o'clock, so they bumped it to 9:30.
Wow.
And if you thought the episode order was bonkers the first time, this is officially in production order, Season 3, Episode 3. But on Hulu and Disney Plus, it's Season 4, Episode 2.
Yeah, that's messed up.
It only gets worse from here. You know how if you measure something and it's a little bit off on one end, it's extremely off on the other? That's what's happening with Futurama episode canon.
I forgot to mention something about the first episode. At the end, it's in real time as it was airing. So it was like 8:57, 8:58. Yeah. So.
Oh.
The clock in the background, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, the opening caption claims this episode performed entirely by sock puppets, which I am sad to report is not accurate. They could have done it.
That's a shame.
That's not accurate. Sipple and Ollie are sad.
They could have done it.
I wrote here, NGL would watch.
For real?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I would absolutely watch. Give me that.
Simpsons could do a sock puppet episode.
No, it would scare Homer. Sock puppets!
The opening cartoon clip from this one is Boxcar Blues from 1930 starring Bosco.
I don't know anything about Bosco. Can't help you there.
It's the 5th ever Looney Tunes short. And we open this one with the news on TV again, and this time it's a fluff piece about the Zarlon 7 Polar Bear Club taking a plunge into a river of liquid ammonia. And as Morbo very professionally reports, there were no survivors. We then get an annual Xmas message / season's warnings delivered by the preserved head of Walter Cronkite, who was still alive in 2001. They could have gotten him, but I guess it's easier to just have Frank Welker do it.
He looks too trustworthy.
With images of last year's gingerbread massacre freshly baked into our memories, I remind you to bolt your doors, say goodbye to your pets, and lock your children in the closet.
So we're already In the securing the place from Santa portion of Xmas decorating in this episode, Leela, Fry, and Bender are struggling to close the fireplace hatch when Leela insists, "We're pushing as hard as we can," and Bender says, "Oh, pushing," and it closes immediately. So everyone's safe.
I love that in the first one, none of them are really bothered by this until someone brings it up. And in this one, it's just full on, they're preparing for the purge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got the whole shutters installed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's safe for about 5 seconds before the professor tells his crew they'll be delivering a giant sack of children's letters directly to Santa at his death fortress on Neptune.
That is a great line. The Death Fortress on Neptune. So good.
It's still the North Pole.
Yeah, guess he moved out of the North Pole on Earth after global warming and before nuclear winter. So off they go as Fry opens some of the letters, which...
Yeah.
It used to be a federal offense, but who even knows anymore? Just a bunch of children begging Santa not to give them any gifts. The bicycle you fired at me with your bicycle gun really tore up my insides.
That's a good bit that swings around again.
Yes.
I love that little girl. She shows up 3 times this episode.
Poor Pramela. Well, that's all Fry can stands, and he can't stands no more. He wants to bring back the type of Xmas he remembers. So they land on the North Pole of Neptune. Never mind the fact that Neptune is a gas giant, so you can't just land on it. But I guess you can build a death fortress to land on, so fine. We arrive at Jolly Junction, which looks more like if Santa's village was a Call of Duty map. Distant machine gun fire and everything.
I like the sign on the building, though. I don't know if anyone noticed where it said, "Toy Works closed, coming soon, crack house."
Yes.
They're greeted by a group of Neptunians who look like elves, but they insist they're only little because Santa doesn't feed them. We have seen a tall, human, adult-sized Neptunian before. Chef Elzar is from Neptune. He's got the same purple skin, pig snout, and 4 arms, just, tall. We also learn Santa doesn't pay these elves either, because the first thing they ask Fry is,
"Hey, wanna buy a tiny little kidney?"
I'll let you punch me for $1.
Of course they don't get paid because there are no toys to make since Santa judges everyone to be naughty. Doesn't take a whole village to make 1 pogo stick for Zoidberg. So the Neptunians point our heroes to Santa's death fortress, which is an ice castle on top of an equally icy mountain. It doesn't not look like the one from Frozen.
It looks pretty cool, though.
It does.
It looks foreboding.
Disney owns Futurama now. Make John Goodman sing Let It Go. Or, wait.
It's John DiMaggio
now. It's John DiMaggio in this episode.
Make some John.
Yes. There was a scheduling conflict for John Goodman, which what I am assuming was Monsters, Inc. at this point of the timeline.
That feels like kind of a cop-out, though.
I would assume the scheduling conflict had to do with how many zeros they were going to pay him to come back again.
Right.
Yeah.
Scheduling. My favorite part of the fortress, though, is the plastic cutout of Robot Santa at the entrance holding a sign that reads, "If you're taller than this, prepare to die."
With the buzzsaw.
So 2 Neptunian elves accompany Leela, Fry, and Bender to the fortress, one who volunteered and his partner who reluctantly goes with them because they're holding hands and they won't let go, but they never mention it outright. It's just a thing.
It's the buddy system.
It's the buddy system. The couple carefully delivers the sack of letters past a couple of guard dogs angrily barking jingle bells.
Yes, it's the jingle dogs.
It's the
The
jingle,
Jingle Dogs. That's great.
And it's John DiMaggio voicing one of the dogs, so it just sounds like Bender angrily barking jingle bells.
It was a nice touch, too, to have the employee parking be all just sled when they're coming in.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Neptunians deliver Santa's mailbag, which Leela, Fry, and Bender are hiding in. Leela's plan is to disable Robot Santa with a logical paradox. So she tells Bender to cover his ears and tells Santa, you're programmed to destroy the naughty, but many of those you destroy are, in fact, nice. That makes you naughty, so logically you must destroy yourself. She is trying to RoboCop Santa.
Nice try, but my head was built with paradox-absorbing crumple zones.
I mean, we were only like 12 minutes into the episode. You knew it wasn't going to work.
No, of course not. Chases after them with a rocket launcher, but our heroes make it out of the castle and onto a wooden sled that doesn't move at first.
Push it. Faster.
The blast from the rocket launcher pushes it down the mountain all the way back to their ship, and they try to take off, but Santa's caught up to them, and he's holding the tail of the ship, preventing them from leaving for a little while until the heat from the rocket engines melt the ice Santa's standing on, which freezes over him again after Santa sinks up to his neck, so now he's trapped. Hooray! All the little Neptunians are overjoyed they can make toys again, and Fry wants to take over as Santa, but Robot Santa tells him no human could deliver billions and billions of toys in one night, and Fry tells him Evel Knievel could.
I love that.
Nuh-uh. But Bender tells Fry Santa's right. You'll need some kind of a robot, and everyone looks at Bender, who takes a second before realizing, oh crap, I'm some kind of a robot. And that's how Bender becomes the new Robot Santa.
You can't do, I mean, here we are. We're now their second holiday special, so you have to do the familiar trope of subbing in for Santa. It was inevitable.
Mm-hmm. And everyone sings a song about getting back to work making toys, still for no pay. It's a passion, man.
We are free and fairly sober with so many toys to build. The machines are kind of tricky, probably someone will be killed. But we gladly work for nothing, which is good because we don't intend to pay. The elves are back to work today. Hooray!
There's a blink and you'll miss it joke on the conveyor belt of toys. It's a bucket of Clinton logs.
I made that note.
Did you also see on the conveyor belt, though, the 3 settings? Yes. It was slow, fast, and then Lucy.
And me being the music guy, I feel like I missed a lot of these because I was paying attention to the lyrics, which, honestly, don't sound too overly different from actual life in the year 2025.
Nope. So they spray paint Bender's body red to complete his Santa look, and he's off in the rocket sleigh with bags of way too quickly put together toys. Flies back to Earth to start delivering them, only to find everyone's got bars on their chimneys. What's a bending robot to do? Oh, right.
I guess I'll bend them.
He tries to explain to the families inside that, no, I'm the good Santa, but no one believes him.
I'm the good Santa. I've got toys at very reasonable prices.
Don't listen to him. He's the father of all lies and the uncle of all tricks.
But I come bearing triamonos.
Go for the shins!
This was the darkest joke in either of these 2 episodes. And this might be a good spot for your warning. Is when the mom says, this is it, kids. Take your suicide pills so you don't suffer.
Yeah, really? Yeah.
Just like my mouth dropped. I was like, good Lord, this is dark.
So Bender just finds himself escaping back up every chimney from being beaten and blowtorched. And it's right around here that he runs into another holiday mascot, Kwanzaa-Bot.
Yes.
Coolio.
He's flying in a rocket-powered canoe, and he's voiced by Coolio.
Yo, Gringo, what happened to you, dog? Oh, it's awful, Kwanzaa-Bot. Everyone hates me.
At least they understand you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody down with this Kwanzaa tip.
Oh, yeah. So good. I love that. Isn't he dropping off, like, books that are called "What the Hell is Kwanzaa?"
Yes, I love this cameo,
and he's been doing it for hundreds of years.
Yes.
It's the second best book that Coolio's ever published. The first being Cooking with Coolio.
Cooking with Coolio. I
book
forgot
that I
about
actually own and have cooked from.
Kwanzaa does return in the latest revival of the show, and it appears to be Coolio's final acting performance before his last walk through the Valley of the Shadow of Death in 2022.
Damn it, Mike.
Well, I actually love the one that you're talking about with the beeswax. I love that episode. Well, we need to make Kwanzaa candles. They have to be made with I
haven't seen it yet. I just
really?
looked it up. No, I haven't caught up with Futurama. I'm watching it with the kids now. So my son has watched every episode of The Simpsons, save for this one that just aired tonight as we're recording because we didn't get to it. But I mean, last year he binged through all 36 seasons.
Oh.
My son did too. I think he's watched them multiple times.
Yeah.
It started during the pandemic.
He's watched more than I have at this point.
Same with me. He's past me now on The Simpsons.
Yeah. But back at Planet Express, the crew is celebrating a much more cheerful Xmas than usual with a bathtub full of eggnog that Zoidberg's bathing in. Leela tries to remind the professor that Bender is the new Santa, but the professor shoots Bender anyway. Even after telling Leela, yes, you sound like a broken MP3, which was hilarious in 2001. But it's real now. Anyone else still hanging on to some quarter-century-old MP3s that sound like digital garbage compared to digital music now?
Probably.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I don't actually do computers.
As in everything's on your phone.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't have any music on my phone. I don't do I use my phone as my computer.
Right.
And I prefer physical media. But
Fair.
I did recently get an old iBook for cheap so that I could try to go back to what iTunes used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I can still do that and recreate things from like college. So
well, I pay for iTunes Match, which is kind of what you're describing. It keeps all my original music files from back in the day. But that also means if I play a song that has a nice, crisp-sounding lossless copy on Apple Music, it still prioritizes the file I have in my archive. So it'll play the 128 kilobit per second copy that I ripped from a CD in 2001.
Yep.
Shout out to Music Match Jukebox.
More like Music Match Jerkbox.
Oh, zing.
And the CD was all scratched up, so occasionally the MP3 will give a little robotic hiccup. So yeah, broken MP3s are real.
Yeah, there's a few albums I ripped years and years and years ago that I didn't replace. Like they skipped or hiccuped or scratched or something.
Yeah.
So the MP3s that I still have like in circulation on my old iPod, or if I dragged them into the flash drive I got for my car last year, they're still like I think Tragic Kingdom is one of them. Maybe one of the first like Cake's second album.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple songs in there I still know. I'm like, oh, this is gonna come up all hiccupy.
The most garbled song I have is a copy of Weird Al Yankovic's Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota. And that's like an 8-minute song to begin with. And it hiccups so much. I'm just like, that's it. I have to delete this and just download the Apple Music version because it's driving me crazy. Well, Bender's tired of getting attacked, so he dumps the rest of the toys into the sewer. But even the mutants who live in the sewer complain. One holds up a Barbie doll and shouts, "This creates an unrealistic standard of beauty."
She has a new hat.
She has a new hat. So Bender sits down next to a back alley dumpster to rest and have a drink when a couple of cops corner and arrest him because they think he's Santa. And we cut to a courthouse, specifically famous original Ray's Superior Court. That's a pizza joke.
New York pizza joke.
They all claim to be original, but the real one's on 11th. The courthouse is open on Xmas Day in the future. I don't like it.
This is, interesting times. They had to.
Yeah. But this is Futurama's first appearance of its usual arbiter of justice, the Honorable Judge Whitey. Voiced by Billy West, doing almost a Thurston Howell impression.
Santa Claus, you stand accused of crimes against humanity. How do you plead?
Not Santa.
Or if you prefer, Rex.
Yes.
That's it. Somebody got it right. Bender pleads not Santa, but the professor in the gallery shouts, "There he is again," and shoots Bender in the back again. We then proceed with calling witnesses, starting with that scared young girl who begged no bicycle named Pramela, who's questioned by everyone's favorite giant blue avian lawyer, the Hyper Chicken.
I loved it.
Now, Pramela, I know it's scary in that there witness box, but tain't no need to fear me. I'm sorry, I thought you was corn.
He's like, oh, I thought you was corn.
This is my favorite joke in all of Futurama.
I love it so much.
I feel like that came up in another episode because in my notes I'm like, oh, I think this is like Mike's favorite Futurama character.
Is it because we remember when we did the
Olive?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about the corn.
Oh.
We were talking about Christmas Carol and the price of corn.
Christmas Carol.
Yes. George C. Scott's Scrooge goes on a whole rant about the going price of corn, and that's when it came up.
That's right.
One of the businessmen says the line, "Well, I must go and find the price of corn. Goodbye."
Yes, I forgot.
They're still at it.
Yeah.
Their whole life is corn.
Yeah, that's all. I just love it.
It has the juice.
It has the juice.
Thought you was corn.
Thought you was corn.
Oh, I can't even get through this. I'm sorry, I thought you was corn without cracking up. The first time I watched this episode was on the night it aired. Festivus 2001. I'm at a friend's house. I was 21 years old, so we were all enjoying some cheap adult beverages and watching this, and we must have laughed at this joke for what felt like 10 minutes. I was in tears. My wife and I still quote it.
Oh, it's a great line. And that chicken lawyer, I think they say his name is Matt Cluck. That's his name.
Nice.
That's his actual name in the Futurama Wikia. It's Matt Cluck.
Matt Cluck.
He is an inspired character. He's the best.
But no, favorite line, which he follows up by asking little Pramela, "Would you please point to that robot over there?" And she does, and the whole courtroom just gasps in shock. No further questions. And now it's time for Bender's rebuttal, because, of course, Bender's the type of robot who would represent himself in court. Accuses Pramela of being paid for her testimony, and she admits, "Yes, you paid me $1 and some candy." So Bender asks, "Why aren't you saying what I told you to say?" Well, the judge has had enough tomfoolery for one day. He's got places to be, so he finds Santa Claus guilty and sentences him to be executed at sundown. Reminder, it's Xmas Day.
Well, this would bring people a lot of joy.
I guess so. Also, I checked the calendar. December 25th, 3001 will be on a Friday, so no clocking out early for the weekend.
Bender has just learned a very hard lesson that Vicki Lawrence tried to warn us about. You don't trust your soul to a backwoods Southern bird lawyer.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah.
How can you find great holiday gifts? Easy. Go to America Online keyword eBay. You can find a gift for that aspiring director in your family. Get your sis into the swing of things. Or maybe some DVDs for that friend who never gets off the couch. At AOL keyword eBay, you'll find brand new gifts for everyone every time you visit. You can find practically anything and get a great deal right now. You'll even find each and every doll on her wish list. Get all of your holiday shopping done easily with eBay and America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Holly is a dedicated cop.
I'm sorry, honey. I've been really focused on a big case here.
I just wish the bad guys didn't spend more time with you than I do.
Who's getting some time off for Christmas, whether she wants it or not.
It's Christmas. Take some of those days off you never use and spend some time at home in Port Caldwell.
Now she's headed back to her small town.
The Port Caldwell Christmas Festival celebrates the best in us.
And finally spending Christmas with her husband.
Coffee and a Christmas cookie down at Betty's.
I never say no to Betty's coffee.
Meet you downstairs.
But what happens when her job follows her home?
Bobby, are you in here? The door just locked behind me.
Welcome to the Christmas party. So glad you could stop by.
Now, instead of celebrating with her husband, she'll have to save him.
Okay, Holly, you're trapped in a building. There's a bomb in the building, and Bobby's in the building.
But can she save the day, save her marriage, and save Christmas at the same time?
There is no point in hiding, Detective.
Come on, Yakov Smirnoff. Give me some clues to where that bomb is.
The Can't Wait for Christmas podcast presents a made-for-podcast Christmas movie that can best be described as Die Hard in a Hallmark movie.
Take some days off. Help Bobby with the festival.
A Bomb for Christmas.
You had better hurry, Mrs. McTurnan. There is not much time left.
Find them at can'twaitforchristmaspod.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
So we're off to Statica Robot Penitentiary, which boasts 2 death rows, no waiting. Benders walked down one of them as one robot inmate tells him, "Hey, Santa, when you see the robot devil, tell him I'm a-coming." And then we pan to the next cell where the robot devil's locked up.
I heard.
Hey, that guy said to tell you that I heard him.
They just had Maurice LaMarche read it. Usually he's voiced by Dan Castellaneta, but they didn't get him for whatever reason.
It still works.
Oh, yeah, no, I couldn't tell the difference.
Scheduling conflict.
Meanwhile, Fry and Leela fly back to Jolly Junction, where they cut out a chunk of the ice the real robot Santa is still frozen in, so they can prove Bender's innocence. But they did not expect the ice to melt so quickly thanks to the pollution from the factory causing a greenhouse effect. A couple of the elves remarked, "That would explain this heat," and Fry adds, "and your breezy short shorts," which all the elves are now wearing, and one elf, still holding his partner's hand, quickly replies, "Yeah, that would explain it."
It reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons where at the end they all have short shorts and they sing the "Who Loves Short Shorts" song and like at the end gag.
Just because.
Yeah, just because.
But no time to tell the elf couple we're happy for them. Santa has broken free from his icy prison, sending Fry and Leela running into the factory where they decide the best way to evade Santa and his laser Tommy gun is to jump onto a toy conveyor belt that's set to Lucy and run along it against the way it's moving. The conveyor belt's pumping out toy soldiers, which for some reason children still want in the year 3001.
I don't believe that they asked the children what they wanted.
Oh, I guess not. Yeah. No time. Have any of y'all ever gotten a classic toy soldier for Christmas? And I mean one that was not also a nutcracker or chocolate?
No.
They're just fun to make.
I mean, yeah, if we're to believe any Christmas special, you were getting a wooden train, you were getting a ball, or you were getting a soldier or a dolly. Like that those were the only things that were on these conveyor belts ever.
That's all we know how to draw. That's all that's happening. I guess they make a comeback eventually, but Leela, with some quick thinking, points one of the toy soldiers' bayonets upward so it stabs Santa, who's been running after them on the conveyor belt, hurtling over lines of these toy soldiers. So they escape in their ship, but unbeknownst to them, Santa's riding on top of it back to Earth. We then cut back to Bender being strapped into the Magnexecutioner, which resembles an electric chair in a room with 2 powerful magnets on either side of it, designed to tear him apart. I like the sign that says Magnexecutioner has a little magnet in the letter U. Always be advertising.
Frickin' magnets, how do they work?
Bender's executioner is the mayor of New York, C. Randall Poopenmeyer.
When I pull the switch, these powerful electromagnets will tear you limb from limb, killing you in the most humane possible manner.
But, Mr. Mayor, that doesn't sound humane.
It is for the witnesses, because it's not boring.
voiced by David Herman, who voices a handful of other Futurama characters, including Scruffy, the janitor, and the professor's rival Wernstrom. Thank you.
But you know him best as Michael Bolton, that no-talent ass clown.
Michael Bolton from Office Space.
Yeah.
So the mayor turns on the Magna Executioner, which counts down but also up because it's a random number generator, which will activate when it generates the number 0. So he counts 10, 3, 12, 3 again.
But it doesn't actually do anything. It just generates numbers, and then he has to still pull the lever.
Yeah, he just turns on the thing. Couldn't just do that.
Coming into this, I had no idea that they were all math nerds, but now, like, every one of these jokes, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before Leela runs into the room, pleading to stop the execution because they've got the wrong Santa, and in walks Fry in a Santa suit, declaring he's Santa Claus.
I'm Spartacus.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing a Spartacus because in walks Hermes, also dressed as Santa, followed by Amy and the professor, both as Santas. I like that Amy's Santa suit is a midriff top and capris.
That's Amy.
Of course.
But she still has the beard. But then, my other favorite joke of the episode, in walks Zoidberg, and I'm his friend Jesus.
I mean, Jesus is Jewish, you know?
They're friends.
He's dressed as the birthday boy in a white robe and brown beard.
That's the highlight of the episode, 100%.
Well, Xmas is on a Friday that year, so if you're Catholic, that means Jesus is a marine animal or something like that. But the mayor tells them all, you can't be the real Santa. You aren't even robots. How dare you lie in front of Jesus? And at that moment, the random number generator hits 0, so he flips the switch, and the big magnets start pulling Bender in 2 directions as he sings a garbled swing low, sweet chariot.
I love that they keep the theme because when Bender's exposed to high magnet activity,
he got a magnet
he
stuck to
starts
him.
singing folk songs a lot of the time. But yeah, I guess he knows he's gonna die. It's like it's not gonna be a fun folk song. It's just gonna be the swing of the sweet chariot.
Yeah, I mean that's the one you sing. Until the real robot Santa crashes through the wall in his rocket sleigh like a holly jolly Kool-Aid man, disabling one of the giant magnets and shooting the other one before firing at everyone else in the room. And the mayor screams, by God, the real Santa! Get him, Jesus!
Help themselves!
Well, after everyone else is gone, the real artificial Santa turns to Bender, who thinks he's here to kill him, but Santa assures him, no, I need you to help me save Xmas. And Fry pokes his head out from under a pile of rubble and shouts, don't do it, he's evil! And Santa says, I know he is, but I have no choice.
I love that.
Mike, you're having a hard time getting through this. You're laughing so much.
It's my favorite episode. So Bender joins Santa's sleighing tonight. We see Bender riding shotgun in the rocket sleigh, whacking streetlights with a baseball bat the way Turn of the Millennium Xmas ought to be. When Santa blows up a diaper service truck and it starts to snow dirty diapers. What's a diaper service in the year 3000? Is that like the milkman, but they switch out your stinky diapers with cleaned ones?
I guess maybe they have like a giant diaper genie or something on another planet and they take it. I don't know. But I love that Pramla gets stopped with another bike.
Of course.
Yeah. I think it's called Stinky Stork.
Yes. It's been a few years since I've had to change a diaper, so I don't know if anything has changed since then. But meanwhile, back at the Planet Express, the power's out and so is the fireplace, so they're all, as Hermes puts it, huddled together like lice in a burning wig. But Fry chooses to stay positive, noting fear has brought them all together, and that's the real magic of Xmas. And they all huddle together even more closely as something explodes outside the window. And we cut back to Bender and Santa flying overhead as Kwanzaa flies by again to let them know that their friend, the Hanukkah zombie, is throwing a luau, so we'll see him there. We unfortunately don't get to meet the Hanukkah zombie this time. He will show up in future episodes, voiced by Mark Hamill.
I mean, who else?
Who's not even Jewish. What are we doing? But before they call in the night, Santa gives Bender a little present, a token of his appreciation for being Santa while he was trapped in the ice. And Bender opens it to find nothing. And Santa tells Bender,
"Oh, it might appear empty, but the message is clear. Play Santa again, and I'll kill you next year."
And he pushes Bender out of the sleigh and into the burning city below as he flies off, and that's it.
Yeah, all of New York is on fire, basically, by the end of this episode.
It's Xmas.
And all I took from it is that when Bender falls, he looks just like Hans Gruber.
Yes.
Yup.
And I gotta say, nothing brings you together like a shared tragedy. So There you go.
Yes. We may visit Futurama again in the future. There was actually a Futurama Holiday Spectacular in 2010, but I have not watched any of this most recent revival yet. But there's an episode from 2023 titled "I Know What You Did Next Xmas."
Yeah.
I'll catch up eventually.
That's the one Joey was referencing, the time travel one about Santa.
Okay, well, that explains the title now. But like I said, these are a couple of my favorite episodes of the whole series, and there's a handful of really amazing episodes of Futurama. But any final thoughts about these two?
I think we sum them up very thoroughly tonight. This is just Futurama is such a wonderful joke delivery machine, and just
totally
brings me so much happiness whenever we watch it.
It rewards multiple viewings. So
Yes.
whatever you didn't see the first time, you might catch the next time. Whatever you didn't hear the first time, you might catch. But or you might have seen something in between that then informs you. Oh, that's what that was referencing. And I also I don't think I said it, but I love that that the lawyer roosts on top of the building.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, to tie back to what Aaron was saying there, to reference once again the moldy old stylings of Conan O'Brien. He's said before that he loves when something is like the perfect intersection of very smart and very stupid.
Yeah.
And Futurama does it so well. Like we were talking about, like David X. Cohen and the writers are super math nerds. So there's very, high level jokes throughout that are mixed with just, sure, why wouldn't a lawyer be a Southern lawyer be a bird?
Right.
Yeah.
The thing that really surprises me the most about it and really turns it from just a regular animated half-hour sitcom into actual art, if I may be so pretentious, it's that everything is so depressing. Like if you look at it from the outset and you really describe what's going on in these episodes, it's depressing.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of heart. You've got people that are coming together to try to stop evil robot Santa. And when they can't, what do? They hunker down and they enjoy the company of each other and get through it together. There's so much heart in these shows that, while at the same time it's just completely depressing, completely misanthropic, at the same time it's really does a really nice job of having a lot of heart and giving you hope and making you feel good.
That was one of the special things about Futurama, Donnie, is that it was funny. It was a joke machine, as you said, Joey, but it balanced heart really well, and this chemistry between the characters is so great. And these two Christmas specials, I like the A Tale of Two Santas more, but they're equally great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, even dare I say, to someone who doesn't even really follow Futurama, these are satisfying Christmas specials.
They are.
They reference other classic Christmas specials. They've got songs. They got clever plays on certain songs. They got a lot of the iconography, but they're just fun. They play with some of the tropes. They take it into unexpected places. These are Futurama. I could wax about how great it is, but just as Christmas specials, these are two solid ones that you could revisit every year.
Yeah, and I don't every year, but I mean often enough that I always like leave satisfied. And so I was like, no, I'm glad I watched that again. They are good annual or semi-annual watches. And I surely hope our own timeline can keep the true spirit of Xmas alive and not build a morally over-strict robot Santa. Only time will tell at this rate. But thank you all for surviving this pair of Xmases with me. It has been an honor battling robot Santa by your side.
Yes.
I thought you were all corn.
Well, if people want to give you the gift of either a noisy orange parrot or 500 stink lizards, where can they find you on the internet? Aaron.
It's pretty hard to do so right now. I was on the app formerly known as Twitter. And then I moved that same name to Blue Sky, but I don't really use it. I'm kind of trolling social media right now, like or not trolling. I'm sort of like hiding,
paring down. I feel you. Like I'm on Blue Sky, but first off, who knows how long that's going to be a fun place at this point.
I don't know.
And as far as current social media goes, I got off the other stuff because when a lot of them kept popping up, I was like, maybe the answer isn't more social media. So I just picked one, and it happens to be Blue Sky is the place where I'm having the most fun at this point. So I got rid of the other ones.
I sort of skulk Instagram most of the time, but quietly.
Yeah, occasionally.
But yeah, I do have a Blue Sky. It would be Ms. Erin M. Evans.
Joey.
You can hear me on Why Not Radio at whynotradio.net. If this is July, then we are just about to have our 15th anniversary as Why Not Radio.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
And you can find me on the Twitter and Blue Sky at I'm Gonna DJ 24.
Donnie.
I don't even use social media anymore, honestly. I have a Twitter account. I'm Boxcar 45, but I haven't used it in forever. Same name at Blue Sky, Boxcar 45. I'd really rather prefer that you check out my band's SoundCloud page where Bronwyn's Ghost. You may have heard us from such Christmas specials as the beginning of this episode and also the beginning of the other episode that we were on, which is all of them. So, yeah, check that out. Listen to us. We do Misfits covers. It's fun.
And DJO.
You can find me on Blue Sky at They Call Me DJO.
Yes, please check out all of those things. You can find those links in the show notes of this episode. I already told you where you can find me on the internet. Your best bet is to just go to adventcalendar.house and you can figure it out from there.
How'd they find you if not already?
Very carefully. I don't know. People find me. My most listened on platform is Pandora.
Huh. Really?
Because Pandora doesn't differentiate between podcast episodes and songs.
Oh, that
I'm guessing
makes
people
sense.
are looking for like Santa Claus is coming to town and they find
No, my top 5 episodes are Frosty, Rudolph, John Denver and the Muppets, Santa Claus is coming to town, and the Little Drummer Boy.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So it's all people like looking for the songs, listening to my little intro. And that was even before Donnie wrote the theme song. So it's just the chimes from the Christmas Vacation that I turned into a MIDI. And it was just like, what's this? I'm out of here. So I have a lot of downloads, but anyway, it'll be fine. You're going to make it after all. So I'll talk to you all next time. Till then, for Aaron, Joey, Donnie, and Djo, from an impossible sheet of ice up to my neck on a gas planet with no rocky surface. This is Mike Westfall reminding you to please watch out for the icy patch on the way out, and I'll be back when you least expect it. Next Xmas! Or, in a couple of days. Good night, y'all.
Awesome.
What is your band name origin? Because unfortunately, when I see it, let me tell you what it makes me think of. It makes me think of Rowan's Ghost, which is the very forgettable villain from the Lady Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that was a deep cut.
Definitely not that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that film, so...
It's okay.
Yeah.
He's a non-villain, really.
Yeah.
So, okay, there's a Dean Koontz book called Odd Thomas, and the whole conceit is that he has psychic abilities that help him to find trouble and solve it, basically. But he also sees ghosts, and so in the first book, he's palling around with the ghost of Elvis. He can see the ghosts, and the ghosts can see him, and the ghosts can emote, but they can't talk. So he's following the ghost of Elvis around, and he has to try to help the ghosts move on. Basically, he tries to help Elvis move on, and so he's got a girlfriend who her birth name is Bronwyn, and spoiler alert from a 25-year-old book, she gets killed at the end, and of course he sees her ghost. In the story, she prefers to be called Stormy. But because that's very close to my last name, I couldn't very well use it. Stormy's ghost would be kind of, first of all, it sounds a little too and it would have been a little too on the nose. So we switched to Bronwyn, and we're Bronwyn's ghost.
How is Elvis, and have you seen him lately?
I have not, but he moved on, so...
Next time on the Advent Calendar House...